So today we're going to take on our last little piece of this course. There are many variations of Lebensohl, some that are distinct improvements, and that being something that's commonly known as transfer Lebensohl, or as I like to call it, 21st century Lebensohl. Which involves using transfers at the 3 levels. So when you make those game-forcing 3-level bids, you do it 1 level below your actual suit. As a result, you right-side all the hands in the game hands. Anyways, and also it also cures the whole problem with invitations because all transfer bids are invitational plus. So that's something to look at once you feel like you've got your feet underneath you with basic Lebensohl. Would be some sort of transfer Lebensohl. Unfortunately, there's a couple variations that are fairly common. So you'll have to sort out the difference between those two. And once you figure that out, then you can kind of play both of them because you just know there's this one thing you have to change about the transfers. But we're just going to stick with the basic stuff today. What we're going to do today, though, is something that you will find comes up more often than using Lebensohl in a one-no-trump interference situation. As I said last week, that's because anytime there's a single suit bid, especially playing at lower levels of experience, single suit bids are usually expressed with either double or 2 clubs, right? If you're playing don't, double shows a long suit, a single suit. Which is really weird because it's called don't, right? Disturbing opponent's no trump, and then to bid a long suit, to bid a 6-card suit, you double, which doesn't interfere at all. So not a very useful convention in my mind. The other most common one is Cappelletti, and I think probably those two variations will cover almost all club games. Very rarely will you run into people playing something different. And in Cappelletti, the 2 club bid is how a single suit is expressed. And once again, you can just ignore that. You double do 2 clubs for Stamen, and you do all your normal transfers. So as a result, you don't actually use it a whole lot because you only are going to use it over actual 2-suit bids showing 2 suits. So that is, you'll see what I mean. On the other hand, your partner is very often will double an opening 2-diamond bid, right? All North needs to double this is some shortness in diamonds and an opening hand, right? That's all they need. And that usually means they don't have a suit of their own to bid, and they double. This comes up all the time, right? And if you're sitting with South's hand, your problem is that, you're going to make a bid over 2 diamonds. You're making, if you got a majored bid, at least you can make it at the 2 level. Sometimes, though, if they start, say, with a preemptive 2 spades, you actually showing your bid at the 3 level. And it's incredibly important to let your partner know whether or not you have what your point range is. Whether, I'm being forced to bid, this is what I got. Don't go any further, right? Or whether, partner, I've got a pretty good constructive bid here, say maybe like 8 to 10 points or a good 7 and a bad 11, right? That sort of constructive bid that usually will let partner go to game if they have something more than just a normal opener. We call those useful values in this system, but it's essentially a constructive value. And then also we often will have a game forcing hand of our own or a good 11 points. And a good 11 points opposite an opening a double of a preempt, we're generally going to have to be a little aggressive looking for games or we will get shut out of a lot of them. But a good 11, 12 points, now you're talking about a game forcing bid. So Lebensohl is our way to pull all those options together. You should only see South's hand at this point. I think I have this set just to see South's hand. Someone who's asking why they can't see North's hand. We're going to look at some of North's hands later, but right now, just assume that what I'm saying about North's hand is true. So when this hand comes around, we have 7 points. You know, it's really close to being a constructive 7 points because it's 8. I mean, it's 7 points and it's got a 10 with it. It's ace, king, 10, 4. You know, maybe if it was a 5-card suit, we could upgrade. But I think it's best to probably treat this one as just being a weak bid that doesn't have much interest at all in going to game. Thanks, Mark. And we can just apply our basic Lebensohl rules on this bid, right? Because we have our suit, our heart suit, is a higher ranking suit than the diamond suit. So we can just say, to use that old rule, right? Our rule, 2 level bids are to play. And we bid 2 hearts. Presumably our partner, if they don't have, some kind of maximum hand, they'll just pass this, right? And figure, okay, I got out for 2 hearts. Excellent. Thanks. Well done, right? And we've got our work cut out for us, right? But it's there probably. But we're certainly in our best position. We're not going to find a better position than being in 2 hearts on this contract. All right. So the basic Lebensohl rule of 2 level bids are to play comes right in here and after the double of the diamond. And we know that partner will have probably at least 3 hearts, unless they're bidding a strong hand and going to bid again, right? Got at least 3. Very oftentimes they'll have 4. So we're in great shape here. And that's the basic idea on that one. Now, let me ask you this. What do you suppose we will do then, using our basic ideas from Lebensohl, if the bidding starts this way? Now we can assume partner short in spades, has support, at least 3 support for all the rest of the suits, and probably has a pretty good opening hand. Doubling a 2 spade bid, is a lot different than doubling a 2 diamond bid because you're forcing your partner to bid at the 3 level. So here they generally will have a pretty good opening hand. 3 level to play is not going to be the answer, but that's sort of going to be what we're going to distinguish here. Pass would be a possibility. But the other thing that we could do is bid 2 no trump. Okay, and we're using our Lebensohl bid, so it's a relay, right? This is a relay to clubs. Fortunately, can't use Stamen there. So he follows through with clubs, right? Notice we only have 6 points here. Stamen, any kind of Q-bid Stamen is a game-forcing hand. This is only 6 points. Right? We need to let him know that we don't have anything to work with. Right? So here now we bid that, and we bid 3 hearts. And now this bid has become our weak bid, just like when we had a lower ranking suit in a basic Lebensohl auction, where say it went 1 no trump, 2 spades, and we had a weak heart hand, one that we would have transferred to. Right? We would then bid 2 no trump and then bid it at the 3 level because that's the only way we could express that hand, because there was not room at the 2 level to sign off. If we relay on this hand and then bid a lower ranking suit, right? Hearts is lower ranking than spades. We're basically saying we are weak, we're done. Right? Notice once again, we're not so worried about having a 5-card suit or anything because partners double should be enough for us to bid a 4-card major. Okay, it's not an absolute requirement that North have 4 hearts, but I bet you it would be in most situations you'll find your partner with 4 hearts. Yes, 2 no trump must be alerted. It's an artificial bid. Three clubs should be alerted because we don't need the opponents aren't responsible for knowing how to play Lebensohl. So two no trump, alert, relay to clubs. North, alert, artificial, just doing what my partner told me to do. Okay? So up to three hearts. And then, so we get out at that level. So those are kind of the way we're handling those minimum hands. But something comes up that's a little bit different than what we have when we're bidding one no trump. And that is that when partner opens one no trump, they've limited their hand to 15 to 17 points, right? Or whatever you play, but 15 to 17 points. And because of that, South has a good idea of what to do. But let me just ask you this question. Is North a limited hand when they double? Yeah, not at all. Definitely not. And that makes a difference, right? So here we have that same hand, I think, right? 5, 6 points. And we're going to sign off in hearts. After this guy passes, we're going to try to sign off in that lower ranking suit. Right, so our intention is to bid 3 hearts when all of a sudden he bids 3 hearts. What's going on? Why didn't he do what we told him to do? Yeah, this is the big hand. This is the big hand. This is probably has 5. And he should have 19 plus points. This is a maximum hand, and this happens. This is not an unusual hand because, right, West is starting off weak, and you don't have a lot of points, right? So someone's got them, and East has passed and didn't try to do anything with the 2 spade bid, so maybe he doesn't have anything. Yeah, you could even think of it sort of as a double and correct, right? Except we'll do double and correct with fewer points in many agreements. Here, this bid should show 19 points. It should be saying, partner, I know you don't have much, but I don't need much out of you. All right. So unless you're completely broke, you need to bid game. And here, of course, having 4. Knowing your partner is probably darn short in spades since you have 4 of them, it's not hard at all to bid 4 hearts. So we could call him the max doubler. North was the max doubler there. He had a big hand, 19 plus points, and like all big hands, he starts it with a double. So let's look at another type of hand that we will come across. The auction starts similar, 2 spades and then a double. Now this time we have 5, 6, 9 points, right? We have 9 points, what we would think of as a constructive hand, right? A hand where if partner has better than 14 points, a 15, 16 point hand minimum, he's going to probably be very interested in bidding game. Right? I like to think of this as being a constructive hand, though in the Anderson book he calls it useful values, and I've heard that phrase used elsewhere as well. So probably the term of art is I have useful values. And if you've gotten familiar with the idea of what a constructive hand is, right, which is, a really good 7 to about a bad 11, or you can just think of it as 8 to 10, right? That's the kind of hand we're talking about, a constructive hand. If you have a good 11 or 12 points, then in these types of auctions, you're probably going to need to make a game-forcing bid, and we're going to get to that. But with this 9-point hand, we are definitely right in that useful value range. Now, to show useful values, we use the 3 level. right? Playing basic Lebensohl, we use the 3 level to show game hands, game forcing hands, right? But that's not what we're going to do playing the week 2 double. Instead, we're going to play that the 3 level is useful values. So what we'll do here is bet our suit at the 3 level, 3 hearts. Now this would have to be alerted, right? And you could say constructive, or maybe say 8 to 10 might be more helpful for most people, right? But it needs to be alerted, and it says 8 to 10 points, and at least 4 hearts. Okay, partner has not promised us 4 hearts, but very often they're going to have 4 hearts, and especially doubling spades. And then if our partner has more than just a plain old 14-point hand, right, it has something extra, something to make it worthwhile to build on that constructive hand, he'll go to game, right? And very often, because there's a double, once this fit is certain, then openers, here, let me show you, opener is going to be going to game. Here he's got just, 14 points, but he's got a stiff spade. He's got aces in the side suits. So he's got a very good hand to double with, and that elevates his 14-point hand to something more, and certainly something that across from just about any constructive hand is going to want to be in game. All right. So that's called useful values. And if you want to keep it simple in your head, you can just think of it as a constructive hand, right? The first hand was weak. This one was constructive. And the constructive ones basically are strong enough that they sort of eliminate invitational hands, right? Because a good 11, you are going to treat it like a game forcing bid. Now, 12 points, you're certainly treating it as game forcing. And that's just the nature of what's happened, that the 2 level bid has taken away some room from you. So let's look at this one, see what you guys think, see if you can pick up on this. We get a 2 diamond start, and a double, and a pass. We got 10 points. Got a couple calls for 3 hearts. And what would we call 3 hearts? Yeah, 3 hearts is definitely not a game force here. And that's the difference, Mark. The difference between the basic Lebensohl with 1 no trump, where we save the 3 level for a game force, a double of 2 diamonds. We need somewhere to put that 8 to 10 point hand, or a really good 7 to bad 11 point hand, which I like to think of as constructive. And if you want to sound well read, like our friend Jim, then he will call it useful values, and then Eddie will call it contuseful. Yeah. So, and then it comes down to what partner wants to do with that. He'll either pass it if he doesn't have something extra, or he'll go on to 4 hearts. Here he might pass. I don't know. I'll show it to you. See what you guys think. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 13. So 14-point hand, fairly balanced hand though. The king of diamonds is in the right spot, and that's the thing that would make me think real long and hard about bidding 4 hearts here. Plus, we do have Queen Jack looking just for an honor in our partner's suit to grow up something sweet. We got a doubleton, but that's where one of our points is. Right? So this was a difficult hand, and that's not a bad idea. Bass players often make the right decisions like that. I'm a bass player as well. This might be a hand where most people playing match points at a club game won't get to game. And you never really want to be the smartest person in the room playing match points. You just want to be as smart as everybody else. But playing imps, you're going to go to playing imps, playing a Swiss game. You're going to bid game on this in a second. All right. Well, good. So you guys are getting this. So now let's step into the next level of auction, and that's where we have a game hand. Okay, this is where we hear our partner make an opening bid with a double, and then we have an opening hand across from him, or like I said, a good 11. I open all good 11-point hands. I open most. I open crappy 11-point hands. Now I just can't stop myself. But he doubles, and what do we have? We have 14 points, a hand that we would clearly open. We would clearly open this hand. And now we need a way to force the game. Okay. Our partner, we can't really bid game with our 4 spades and just say, yeah, we're good for 4 spades. My partner is promising length there. And then he's not really promising 3. He doesn't necessarily have to have it. And so it's we can't just jump there. But and the other thing is that's hanging out there, looming, a foreboding black card, is we have this problem that we can't stop these diamonds. So if our auction ends up in 3 no trump, it would be very sweet to have our partner know that we don't have the diamonds covered. Right? Now, in this situation, in playing, if we were playing Lebensohl over 1 no trump, we would use Stamen, right? We have a game-forcing hand with Stamen. Interestingly enough, and you'll see as we go through here, we don't actually call it Stamen when we're playing over a week 2. There will be hands where you would use a Q-bid, which is game-forcing. Right, the Q-bid, the definition of it, let's just say, is game forcing. There'll be times that we will use the 3 diamonds that we don't have a 4-card major. But it's looming there enough that our partner, if we use a 3-diamond bid, will probably show us a 4-card major, right? Because he's got one. He probably doubled it. He probably has a 4-card major somewhere, and we'll probably hear about it. So we can now apply this same idea that we used before, that fast denies a stopper. Fast denies a stopper. So if we directly bid 3 diamonds, the game force, right, which is the main meaning when we're doubling a week 2, the 3 diamonds is game forcing, we can bid it right now without a stopper, or we can relay and then bid 3 diamonds. And now we've shown the stopper. Following? Makes sense? So this is fast denies. And the other key part about this is a Q-bid is the way that we make a game force. We sometimes do it after a relay, but this is making a game force. Right? So our partner knows we're going for game, knows that you don't have a diamond stopper, and of course we'll look for a major. This is just natural, right? So they bid 3 hearts. And what do you want to bid? Yeah, I mean, this is just natural bidding, right? This is not complicated. We're not reinventing natural bids here. We're going to bid our spade suit. There's nothing that says that he doesn't have a spade suit. And we'll get there. Hold on to that thought. And he bids 4 spades. Right, and we can see we found partner was 4, 4, 2, 3. Had 3 diamonds. You kind of wish that the 2 was in diamonds. No. No. We're being asked if that would show five spades. That's just bidding up the line. That's just bidding up the line. Oh, thank you. I will need to be reminded that being asked to save the hand again, right? So what's that going to make? We'll see double dummy. Should make. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, it's going to make an over trick. This is just natural bidding. Two diamonds. We get a double. 14 points again. What do you want to do with this hand? Obviously, we want a game force, right? Jim's going to use the relay. You know, we got two things going here, and I really want to comment on the one thing that JC said. JC says, well, we could just bid 3 no trump, correct? And you're right, we could, but that darn 4-card major, right? If we could play in a 4-4 major, we might be happier than playing in 3 no trump. Okay? If you didn't have that 4-card major and you had this hand, say there was an additional club or diamond and only 3 spades, then yeah, just bid 3 no trump, right? It's not, that's that in this situation, bidding 3 no trump directly says I'm not interested in any other game except 3 no trump and I got you covered, all right? It's a natural bid, right? But here, that 4-card major is at issue. So what we want to do is find out whether we have a fit. And the other people who said bid 2 no trump relay were correct. That's the way to go about it. We will do a slow shows. And then bid the diamond suit. And now partner will think, well, I better show my 4-card suit. Basically the same hands with the diamonds switched around, right? Yeah, I got 2 4. I got the hearts, bid the spades just in case, right? And then he says I got those 2, and bids 4 spades. All right. Why bid diamonds instead of spades first? The diamond bid is the Q bid. It's the forcing bid that suggests that there could be a 4-4 major, right? Okay. The difference in this, I got one here. The next hand, this one here is the next hand. The next hand, it will answer JC's question. Did I claim this? No, better claim. Yeah, looking like just making game, making 10. All right. So here, look at the difference here with your hand. First, before we leave, let's take a good look at South's hand. We got 14 points, we got a 4-card major, and we have the diamond stop. Bidding, right, the delay, slow shows a diamond stopper, all right? The question that I think is more interesting, okay, the next part, though, is what happens if you get this hand? Game forcing, right? We got 8, 9, 3, 12 points, a game forcing hand. We have stoppers and diamonds. What is our bid? Do we need to check for a 4-card major? Yeah, exactly. You guys got it. This is all over it. Says Lynn. This time, we're not going to bother with the Q bit at all. And this is a difference between basic Lebensohl um, over one no trump and a double of two diamonds, right? Because generally, if we went one no trump, if it went one no trump, there was interference, and we bid three no trump immediately, we would be denying a stopper in the suit that was bid, right? Here we're changing that because it's very and it just works out this way that now we can also kind of use three diamonds as a semi sort of stamen bid, but it's not called that in the literature. So three no trump is just play. The doubler needs to be short in diamonds and have an opening hand to double. That's all. Right? Nice to have three support for everything else, but needs to be short. Very often, if we double a minor, we have the majors. And we will sometimes make a little excuse and hope that it works out well. But here we got three no trump based because we're not really interested in any other game. If we had interest on the previous hand, we were interested in two games: a major fit, a 4-4. What we have spades, a 4-4 fit in spades, or three no trump. Here we're just interested in three no trump. Hold on to that idea, Eddie. Why not use two no trump, then bid three no trump, showing the stop like regular lead? Well, what happens is that well, just let's keep watching the hands. I would struggle with that answer. This is the way that to play it, and I always have problems explaining it. Especially today, I was trying to write it down, and I just thought it was best to use examples. Perhaps as we go along here, someone will come up with a very good explanation of why we just pay three no trump. And I think it's basically that it ends the auction, and that it denies interest in other games. So it's really kind of a shutout bid. It just says stop worrying. I know what I'm doing to your partner. Two diamonds, double again. 14 points, balanced hand. What feels right? It seems like we're going to be in no trump, but we have that problem of we don't have the stoppers. It's really important that the person who has the stoppers bids no trump first, right? We can't bid two no trump here because then we were playing. Right? So now we bid three diamonds. It's just a game force. That's all it is. It's just a game force. Right? They pass. Partner, is going to show us a 4-card major. Right? We're not interested in that. What do you want to bid here? What did you say with the first bid? We don't have 4 spades. We don't want to bid spades. We said no stopper with the first 3 diamonds, but we want to get to game. Exactly. Now we're bidding 3 no trump without the stopper. Right? We already warned him off on the first hand. We ignored his heart bid. We don't have spades. We don't have hearts. We have game values and no stopper. No interest in any other game right now except for 3 no trump. Right? Let's just switch this around. Somebody remind me to put us back in the south hand after this. So looking at North's hand, now what do you do? JC's going to pass. We got the king of diamonds sitting after the hand that has 6. We've got some some spiritual people who are praying with a pass. Pass is spelled with a capital P. Praise instead of the pass. There's a joke in there somewhere. I can't get it out. Yeah, I think I probably pass. I'm not really excited about going on and scrambling, but if I didn't have a diamond stopper, that's exactly what we would do. We would be scrambling at that point. Now, yeah, it probably, maybe clubs or put it in hearts and hope partner has three. Play it with a three, and you could probably, well, except you don't really want to be roughing with that hand. So, but I think this one you pass. So I think you're looking for a 7-card suit, or you're looking for a minor with a fit. But here, this is good enough. Here, let me give a different lead. I'm not sure, frankly, this is the best lead. Right? But you get the Queen of Diamonds lead. And now you're hoping that you can pull off enough tricks to make 3 no trump when you only have 1 diamond stopper. Oh, let me put you back kibbing. That's right. You can't see them unless I back in the south hand. There you go. Now you can see both hands. Right? So here you get your King of Diamonds, and you can actually manage to make. You make an over trick, actually. I don't know how, but that's what Double Dummy's saying. So the King of Diamonds being after the Ace Queen paid off. If the Ace had been over and East, we might have had a problem. But that's not what it was. All right. So that's probably the answer to why we didn't just jump to 3, why 3 no trump was denied. And Anderson kind of makes an interesting point in the text at some point around here, where he says you might start noticing that the first person to bid 2 no trump is usually the person with the stopper. And that's why he likes having slow shows. Now here's an interesting one. Two diamond bid. Double. And it comes to you have 7, 8, and 6, 14 points and a 5-card major. Now the double of 2 diamonds is shortness, but doesn't necessarily promise that partner will have 3 spades. Which means there's a possibility that we would be better off in 3 no trump, especially since we have stoppers in diamonds. This hand is a little bit odd, but it makes sense. Okay, how can we go about showing stoppers in diamonds and showing a spade suit without actually learning a whole new system? 2 no trump. They bid 3 clubs. And now we bid 3 spades. Right? We would bid 3, if we bid 3 spades immediately, we would just be showing useful values. If we bid 2 spades immediately, we would be trying to sign off. Right? If we bid 3 diamonds and then bid spades, we're probably showing a 4-card spade major. If we bid 2 no trump and relay and then bid 3 spades, what we're saying to partner is, I have a 5-card spade suit. You will find people playing this different ways, including the robots, but this is the way that Anderson teaches it. I kind of like it. Right? Because I think it makes sense, because it's just one more way to bid spades. We got 2 spades, we got 3 spades, we got 2 no trump and 3 spades. this bid says, hey, we've got a diamond stopper and I've got 5 spades. And now partner can make a decision about where they want to play the hand. Right? So they might have, happy to hear you have the stopper because, their takeout double was a little off shape and they're not really interested in playing a spade game. Most of the time they would be. Right? But on this one, they're more than happy to take on, knowing you have a stopper, they're more than happy to add their king jack to your ace queen 10 and clean up. Yep. If he has 3, he's probably going to 5. If he, the relay and that shows that slow bid to 3 spades shows 5 spades and a stopper in diamonds. Basically saying, partner, if you can't tolerate the spades and you don't want to play a game of spades, we could play 3 no trump. I've got the diamonds stopped. Okay, what about a game force but no stopper? I think I'd have that one, and I don't. I repeated the hand instead. I didn't save it, making him. I think I did claim. Wonder if I could quickly do this. Let me try to just make a quick change in the hand. Okay, I think this will still work. Not quite perfect, but since I didn't save a hand, I just edited it really quick. Let's take it this way. The question was, what are we going to do if we don't have a stopper in diamonds? So 2 diamonds, double, pass, and what do we bid? Got 11 points, but it's a good 11. Good 11. Right? So we're probably going to bid 3 diamonds and hope that something good happens, but we need to make the game force. We could bid 4 spades directly with our fingers crossed, hoping that it works out. Bart will know that we don't have a diamond stopper, right? Partner almost always will have at least 2, and with this hand, but this hand kind of seems like we should be in no trump if. So he probably goes about showing us his majors, right? And I assume this would be the only way. This is not in the book at all. Maybe that's why I didn't do it. You could bid 4 spades here, right? You'd be saying, I don't have a stopper in diamonds. I have 5 spades. And you could just hope that was good enough for partner. We do miss a chance at 3 no trump, though, if partner happens to have made an off-shaped double. This is like something that's usually not going to happen, that it only has 2 spades, right? So the other way to do it would now be 3 spades, promising 4, and see what happens, And if partner happens to have the stoppers and bids 3 no trump, maybe you're happy with that, since your essential nature is your balance. So maybe you're happy with that. And partner, will be happy to see those nice spades, especially if he has the hand he had last time with just king jack. So I think that's probably the way you'd go about it. Not really covered in the text. Let me flip back to, since we managed to go fairly quickly today. I don't know why. Let's try a few and see what you think. The Q bid says game force. Okay, that's the key. The Q bid says game force. And because you didn't relay first, it's also saying, and no stopper. All right. What's your call? Yeah. We hit the relay button. Knocking the table over doesn't work in duplicate ACBL games because all the hands, they'll just put the hand back together for you. Follows along, and now what do you do? Yeah, very good. Excellent job. Right? Got ourselves over to a suit that hopefully will have 3 in, and we don't have anything to work with, so we are more than happy to be there. Not all that proud to put it down on the table, but this hand goes down 2. What are we in 3? So making 7 tricks. Oh, and here, let me. The claim. Can you see all the hands now? Well, yeah, I'm recording it. You can. Okay, yeah. So we got there, and probably still, it's probably our best place, right? We don't really have a fit anyplace else. Couldn't really pass the double of 2 spades. Okay. What's your plan here? Yeah. Okay, we got a vote for 2 no Trump. Then we have some 3 clubs. We got somebody using 3 clubs as constructive, and that's exactly what I would do with it. It's an 8-point hand. I got, if my partner has some values over there, that might be enough for him. Right? So I would bid 3 clubs. Useful values. 8 to 10 points. Could be a bad 11, could be a really good 7. Right? And then partner goes on. Let me switch over. What will North do knowing that his partner has useful values and clubs? Yeah, everybody's there. Yeah. Oh, everybody in the room gets 3 no Trump on this one. They're playing Lebensohl. Makes it easy. I'll just claim real quick. I know you can't see it, but oh, maybe you can. I'm not sure. And there we are. Now let's stay up there. Put you back in North here on this one. You got 5, 4, 9, 14, 18 points. Good hand, right? Everybody's doubling with that. So what is your partner showing you? Useful values. Useful values. And it was nice of him. He bid your suit. Right, so it looks like you have at least an 8-card fit. You have 18. He has a minimum of 8, so 26. Probably a maximum of about 28 points. What's your bid? Yeah, there's no reason to go looking. No, especially at match point. Nobody in the room is even going to be thinking about slam. Don't be the smartest kid in the room. All right, bid 4 hearts. Be happy. Yeah, if he had Q bid there, if he'd bid 3 spades, we would have been interested in slam. Andy's exactly right. Yep, exactly. Let's see, King of Spades here. Yeah. And it's really close. The King of Diamonds is offside, and we're missing the Ace of Clubs, so it's not making. We'll claim 11. See if the opponents bother to count. That's a joke. All right. And what's your bid? Yeah, 3 clubs. Just got 14 points, I think. Find out what partner is up to. And what's your bid? We're not in a game, Jim. You're worried about the stoppers when you're going to be bidding game. You're not worrying about stoppers if you're using this type of bid. What does this bid mean when he relays you to 3 clubs and then bids 3 hearts? How many points is he showing? Yeah, he's less, as Ellen so perfectly put it, he's showing less than useful values. That's exactly right. You could have 0, or you could have a bad 7. He's just saying, we aren't going anywhere unless you happen to have something. So pass. Don't want him to go on with partner who could have 0 points. And we only have 14. If he only has 7, maximum high card point is 21 for us. It's like not a game going hand. Hope that 3 hearts is sufficient. And in fact, in this case, it's not, once again. Down 2. But they didn't double. It's a minus 100, and it's probably their hand. Let's see, that would be 7. Yeah, they had a spade fit and never got to it. East had what, 8, 9, 3, 12, 14 points. You might not buy that hand, by the way. You might not buy that hand. They might get themselves to 3 spades one way or another on that hand. I'm not sure if I'm sitting in East's hand and letting you play for a minus 100. You're either going to get doubled or they're going to pull it to three spades. But this would be the way to bid it. This is interesting. So 5, 7, 8, 9, 5, 14 points. Are you doubling? Jim's going to double. We're going to play match points too on this hand. Another double from Ellen. And we got some doubles. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, we don't really want to be doubling when we're balanced with only three. But you'll find that playing match points, that if you don't get in the auction right now, you're just not going to get in. Holding 14 points, it's hard not to get into the auction, especially at match points. But a pass would certainly, as Carly's doing, is certainly reasonable. It's certainly reasonable. Right? But, I think that it's fair to say that sometimes when you have 14 points, you just got to get in there. You got to let your partner know you have something. So, plus this is a Lebensohl lesson, so we're going to double. That will be the deciding factor, that if we pass, as Carly suggests, then there would be no point in having this hand here. So we'll double. But I agree, kind of. Yeah, it's tough to beat the boss suit, but I've watched too many hands zip by where I didn't open my mouth with 14 points playing match points, and my partner's got 11 or 10 or 11. I'm like, God, we had something. Just needed to bid. And double with this hand is about all you can do. Sometimes you'll have like a good 4-card suit, and that's like maybe, let's say you had hearts, you had, let's say they started with 2 hearts and you had ace, king, jack 10 of spades, right? 4 of them. I would bid that suit, right, in that situation. Just because if I had 14 points, I need to get in there. But here, it's questionable, really questionable, but for some reason I did it and we were able to make this hand come alive. Tough one. Yeah, absolutely. So 3 spades is the game force, right? 3 spades is the game force. He didn't use a relay, so apparently he can't stop the spades. What does he want us to do? Yeah, Marge is saying hearts and got another hearts. I mean, it's really hard, right? That 2-spade preempt. A 2-spade preempt is so much harder to deal with than anything else. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to stop the spades with 3 no trump, right? Queen third is not likely to carry the day. You are sitting after that hand. Maybe you get in and can run the club, run your suits and find 9 tricks. But there's a really good chance partner's going to have hearts here. And he doesn't have the stopper. You're not. One thing about this hand, though, I will say this: if he has 3 hearts and is short in spades, right? That means he'll be using his 3 little spades to 3 little hearts to rough spades, right? So playing a 4-3 is a pretty good fit when the shorthand gets to rough. Not with our hand, we would not really want to be roughing anything if we had a short thing, because that's how they take control of the trump suit. They're forcing you to, they're tapping, as we say, tapping you to trump their long suit, and you only have 4 to start with, right? And pretty soon there you got the long heart suit. Okay, so that's but sometimes you would be okay if you bid 4 hearts here and partner laid down a stiff spade, 4 hearts, 4 clubs, and 4 diamonds. Maybe you're happy now, right? He's just you're going to just lose the 1 spade, and he's going to do the roughing for you. On this hand, however, he does come through for you and has the 4 hearts. Hold on. Instead of switch, you should be able to see this. I take that back. And this one just barely makes according to Double Dummy. All right? Makes sense? There you go. I'm not sure that I'm all. The more I look at that hand, and I wish I had just a little bit more in that hand for that double, but it's just hard not to say something. But Carly might be the smartest person in the room here. 8 and 7, 15. She certainly at least has a. One of our players suggested if he'd doubled there, he would have gotten a glare. I'm sure that's yeah, not a. They don't mean anything bad by that. 2 spades, double. What's your bid? No, he's not heavy. Three clubs would be useful values. That's an interesting idea. Does the fact that we have 6 of them elevate this to a constructive hand? Well, and I don't think it does. I'll just say why. I mean, you don't need much, right? What's a point, right? You're at 7. Is this a good 7 points? I don't know. I don't know if a stiff king of hearts is very helpful. So I think I would go with the 2 no trump, but I kind of like the idea of taking a good hard look at whether you should upgrade that 7 points for the plus and bid 3 clubs. I think I don't really have a problem with that. I'm going to play this as 2 no trump though. I'm going to put it back up. Let's try it the way it's being suggested though. Let's see what happens. It's probably more interesting than just relaying to 3 clubs of passing. So 2 spades, double, right? And it doesn't take much to add a point, right? What's 1 point among friends? 5, 7, and an extra point because we have the 6 card club suit. So we say it's constructive. What do we bid if we think it's constructive? And we already had the answer down here. I think Hamanji said it. Yeah, 3 clubs. I think I like that answer better the more I look at it. I'm going to switch you around to the other side. So partner has useful values for you. What are you going to do? Well, I don't think you can, Carly, if you're talking about the King of Hearts, I don't think you can really count it as shortness. Because you really don't want to count shortness without a fit, especially if you're bidding clubs because it's a minor, and chances are you're really not wanting to play in the minor. So if you start adding dummy points every time you have a fit in a minor, I think you're just going astray. Because you end up in 3 clubs in that hand that you upgraded 2 or 3 points because you had shortness. Turns out you're playing 3 no trump and you don't. Then the shortness is killing you. Different with a major. Yeah. So, anyways, 3 clubs, and then we're getting a lot of 3 no trumps here, and I would agree with that. So, does it make? See if the brave souls who added a point to this one got the top boards. Dummy says it's making easily. Making, what are we in? 3 no trump. Making 9. Okay. Right? He runs off all those clubs. Tries to get off to a good lead. He couldn't manage it. There wasn't one there for him. Why not three hearts after the relay? Oh, in South's hand? I don't think you're strong enough. Oh, I'm not sure where. Wait a second. I'm not following you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Let's just move on. You can question me later afterwards if something comes up. What hand are we in right now? We are in South's hand. Let's be in North's hand. What are you doing? You got 10, 19, 4, 23 points. What do you start with? Absolutely. All big hands start with a double. And now what do you bid? Okay, there's an interesting idea. Three clubs forced or three no trump. The only time you can really ignore the relay is when you know that you should be a game or it's just too close to take a chance. The problem here being you bid three clubs and he passes you there, and then you've got a 23-point hand. Right? Three diamonds, an interesting idea. Three, right? So, or three spades asking for spade stopper. Three spades is an interesting bid here, definitely forcing. Tell me a little bit more about your crappy hand. Les is bidding six no trump. I think Les is being far too aggressive on that hand, but yeah, I think three no trump or suggesting the diamonds. You're still at the three level. Either way, anything that you bid here that isn't three clubs is game forcing. So you could have room here to look for a diamond fit. And you got 23. If partner happens to have 6 points or something, or it was using two no trump for another reason entirely. Maybe you get somewhere in a diamond slam. But three no trumps is probably fine. Kind of like the three diamond bid the more I think about it. I have it saved as three no trump. Better make. Only making 10 tricks. I don't get those hands. Two spades, double, pass, oh, this came up. Someone just said, what does a Q bid here mean? Anything that North bids, so long as he blows off the relay, if he blows off three clubs, anything he bids is pretty much a game force. Right? Because he had 19 points. If you had 0 points, maybe you could give up. But you're never going to leave it in three spades either. So what do you bid? Absolutely. Well, he's nailed it. We got four to the king. We are more king nine, four to the king nine. I bet you that nine even might has a shot at taking a trick. So yeah, you definitely want to be in three no trump here. Partner's promising you 19 points at a minimum, and you've got three. That's 22. What are you going to do? You got no place else to run to. It's three no trump. And let's see, against no trump, maybe he leads this queen of spades. Not such a great lead, but maybe he does. And you bring it home 10 tricks. No, don't think of it that way, Carly. I mean, I would think of it as like I really don't have anything else to show you here. I can't bid anything. Um, I don't have anything to show you. He actually does here on this hand, um, as you'll see in a second. Um, and um, in this auction, boy, with no room else to go, though, it might be best thought of as bid three no trump um, with a spade stopper. But it's definitely saying we got to get somewhere. I think the other option on this hand, I don't know where I got this hand, um, is to bid the diamonds instead. So it would go two spades, double, two no trump, three diamonds. I mean, that would make some sense to me. Then that would leave partner some room to bid. He actually probably still bids three no trump though, right? So I don't know. I think diamonds might be a better bid there. Either way, if you blow off the three clubs, it's game forcing. Oh, we're at 512. I'm sorry. We went quite a ways. So this is my plan. We'll quit here. This is the plan that I have. Next week, I will just have lots of hands, lots of practice hands covering all of the aspects of Lebensohl that we've discussed. At the end of that class, we will see how people are feeling, and we could do another week of it. All right. We need to have a little talk at some point about two suited bids. It's not that hard, and so I keep forgetting to talk about it. Um, but we'll do that. Maybe we should just plan on 2 weeks, then 2 more weeks, mostly practice hands, and we will throw in some double suited bids from the opponents over one no trump, and so we can work that out as well.